Today we're going to talk about the core principle of accountability. Accountability is what will give you control over your own life. Today we're going to talk about the principle of accountability. Now, from previous videos, if you've watched some of them, my definition that I use for a principle is that a principle is a law. And a law is something like the law of gravity. It exists and operates whether we know about it, whether we understand it, or whether we believe it. And just as there are natural laws that govern the world in which we live, there are laws that govern happiness and relationships and success. And the number one foundational principle or law that I believe governs everything else that we do in this world is the principle of accountability. And what accountability says is that I am accountable or responsible for my life. And I can't give it away. Think about this. Let's say that you and I are discussing accountability and I decide that I want to get in better shape. And I ask you if you will help me get in shape and if I can make you accountable for my physical health and conditioning. And you agree to take on that responsibility. So you agree that you will be accountable for me to make sure that I eat right, that I exercise, that I do all of the things that I need to do to get into the physical shape that I want to be in. So I give you that accountability. I say, it's fine with me, you can be responsible for that. And you accept it. You say, okay, I will be responsible or accountable for your physical health. Well, what do you think about that? Just because I gave it to you and you accepted it, does it change anything? Can you get in shape for me? Can you eat right for me? You can't. So even though we may agree to do it, it doesn't change what is. I'm still accountable for my life. Let's say that you will be responsible for my actions. You'll take accountability for my actions. Can you do that? Now, you may be willing to experience the man-made consequences or that are imposed for my actions, but you can't take accountability for how it truly affects me. So if you're an honest person and you never tell a lie, but I'm a dishonest person and you decide you're going to be accountable for my dishonesty, it doesn't change me. I can't say that I'm an honest person because you're taking accountability for my dishonesty. It doesn't work that way. Each one of us are accountable for our own lives. So why is that important? You know, we live in a world where there is a lot of blame, a lot of negativity. In fact, one of the things that we talk about is that we have one choice, one basic choice to make in this life, and that is, do we want to be a victim or do we want to be a hero? And a hero is somebody that takes accountability for their life, their circumstances. A victim is somebody that blames their circumstances and other people for where they're at. As long as I'm blaming someone or something else, then who's in control? Is it me or is it the other person or the situation? Obviously, it's the other person. Here's the cool thing about principles, too, that's important to understand is that principles have always existed. So just like gravity has always been there, even before Newton discovered it, it was always there. These principles that we're talking about have always been there as well, and they've always operated. The nice thing about them is if a person consciously looks at them and thinks about them, you can see that the principles are self-evidently true. So if a person is honest and looks at it, you can just know that this is the way things are. Now, I may still choose to believe differently, but again, that's a choice. It's like I'm not wanting to see something that is there. And that happens a lot in life. We want things to be different than they are, and we can hang on to that belief as long as we want until we get tired of the outcomes, and then we may be willing to consider, changing our belief. So if I take accountability for my life, what that does is that empowers me. Because instead of putting the blame or the responsibility somewhere else, it's on me. So if I'm unhappy, well, I have the power to change it. Well, what about things that are unfair in life? Maybe I'm born into this world and I have a handicap. Maybe I'm missing a limb, or maybe there's something, I've got ADHD, or whatever it may be. I can look at that and say, life isn't fair, and because of what I've been born into, it limits me in what I can or I can't do. And some people choose to live their entire life not being accountable and giving away that responsibility to someone else. But you can take any circumstance, any situation, any handicap that a person may have in this life, and you can find people that have not only overcome those circumstances and situations, but have thrived or even taken those and used them as benefits in their own life to help them accomplish and do more than the quote normal person. And yet another person who may have that same handicap, disability, is unable to really do anything in their life, is unable to take care of themselves, and is dependent upon somebody else to take care of them. That's all based on a belief that I'm incapable of doing something or changing my circumstances, a belief that somebody else has the responsibility to take care of me, to give me the things that I need physically to sustain life, to take care of me emotionally. And we get to make the choice of whether we want to accept that truth, that principle, take accountability for our lives, or continue to believe that somebody else is responsible, continue to behave in accordance with that belief. But the problem is, if we do that, we're never going to achieve true happiness. We're never going to achieve success. And so the first principle in helping us make decisions and to look at where we're at in our life and how do we get to where we want to go is we have to say, am I being accountable? Am I taking responsibility for myself? Am I focusing on me, or am I focusing on something outside of me? So anytime that we choose to not be accountable for ourselves, we give away our power and control over our life, and we disempower ourselves. So this is a principle I encourage you to begin to pay attention and to look at in your own life. Are there areas that you are giving away your accountability, and see how that's affecting you? Is it empowering you or disempowering you? Is it bringing you more happiness? Is it bringing you more success? Or is it bringing you the opposite? And I encourage you to look at your beliefs about accountability and to try on this principle and to take full accountability and responsible for yourself and where you're at in your life, and see what that will do to change and to improve your life. Did you like today's video? If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, comment below, and visit our website.